Still water is not empty. It is layered with time. In the quiet ponds, marshes, and slow-moving waters of Italy, a slender figure drifts just above the mud. Its movements are unhurried, its presence almost ceremonial. This is the Italian Crested Newt, an amphibian shaped by season, rhythm, and restraint. Its lineage reaches back millions of years, to a time when Europe was warmer, wetter, and stitched together by wetlands. As climates shifted and landscapes fragmented, many amphibians vanished. This one adapted by becoming selective rather than aggressive. The body of the Italian Crested Newt is long and narrow, built for smooth aquatic motion rather than speed. The skin is dark, often nearly black, broken by subtle speckling and a vivid orange belly marked with irregular black spots, a warning, not a threat. The skin carries mild toxins, enough to discourage predators, never meant for offense. The most striking feature appears only during the breeding season. Males develop a tall, jagged crest running from head to tail, a structure that transforms the animal's silhouette completely. This crest is not armor. It is signal, a visual language spoken only in water. When light filters down through the surface, the crest catches it, exaggerating size, strength, and health. Movement becomes performance. The newt swims slowly around potential mates, arching its body, waving its tail, releasing pheromones that spread silently through the water. There is no chase, no contact. Choice belongs entirely to the female. Outside the breeding season, the crest disappears. The animal becomes smaller, plainer, almost anonymous again. Energy is conserved. Attention fades. This seasonal transformation reflects the newt's core strategy: exist only as much as necessary. The Italian Crested Newt feeds quietly. Aquatic insects, larvae, small crustaceans, worms. It hunts by detection, not pursuit. A slight movement, a pressure change, a chemical cue, then a short, precise strike. Nothing wasted. Its habitat demands stability, clean water, vegetation, gentle temperature shifts. The newt does not tolerate chaos well. Where water becomes polluted, stagnant, or chemically altered, it retreats or disappears. And this sensitivity makes it valuable. The presence of Italian Crested Newt signals ecological health. Where they thrive, water systems function. Where they vanish, damage has already begun. For centuries, the species survived unnoticed. But modern landscapes have tightened around it. Wetlands drained, ponds filled, agriculture and urban growth compress the spaces where slow life can continue. Still, in protected waters, the Italian Crested Newt persists, drifting, breathing, waiting for the next season to arrive. And this is only the beginning of its story. Reproduction for the Italian Crested Newt is not driven by urgency or competition. It unfolds slowly, guided by temperature, daylight, and water chemistry. When winter releases its grip and ponds begin to warm, the newts return to water with purpose but without haste. Males arrive first. The crest grows gradually, rising like a serrated silhouette along the back and tail. This structure is rich in blood vessels, sensitive to temperature and light, and costly to maintain. Only healthy individuals can afford such display. In nature, extravagance is honesty. Courtship is entirely aquatic and entirely non-violent. The male positions himself in front of a female, arching his body and waving his tail in controlled, rhythmic motions. With each movement, pheromones disperse into the water, forming an invisible chemical message. The female listens not with ears, but with skin and instinct. If receptive, she follows. There is no physical mating. Instead, the male deposits a spermatophore, a small packet of sperm, on the substrate. The female picks it up internally. Fertilization is precise, controlled, and energy efficient. Egg-laying is an act of patience. Rather than releasing clusters, the female places eggs one by one, carefully folding each inside a leaf of aquatic vegetation. This behavior protects the eggs from predators, sunlight, and fungal infection. It also demands time, sometimes hours of continuous work, but increases survival dramatically. Larvae emerge weeks later, fully aquatic and fragile. External gills extend like fine branches from the sides of the head, allowing efficient oxygen uptake in still water. The larvae remain motionless for long periods, feeding on plankton and microinvertebrates. Growth is slow, risk is constant. Metamorphosis arrives without spectacle. Gills recede, lungs strengthen, limbs gain muscle. The young newts remain tied to water but gain the ability to survive short periods on land. Many leave the pond briefly, sheltering under logs or stones, returning when conditions demand. Seasonal rhythm defines everything. During dry or cold periods, the Italian Crested Newt retreats to terrestrial refuges, underground cavities, leaf litter, stone walls. Metabolism slows. Feeding stops. The body enters a low-energy state where survival outweighs growth. This rhythm worked flawlessly for thousands of years. Modern landscapes interrupt it. Roads block migration between breeding ponds and terrestrial shelters. Pesticides accumulate in water. Artificial ponds dry unpredictably. Each disruption may seem minor. Combined, they become lethal. Conservation efforts now focus on reconnection, creating pond networks, preserving vegetation, limiting chemical runoff. Success is quiet, measured in continued breeding, in unseen larvae growing beneath leaves. The Italian crested newt does not adapt quickly. It cannot shift habitats easily. It survives only where patience is permitted. And patience, in the modern world, is rare. Still, in protected waters, the cycle continues. Eggs folded gently into leaves. Larvae breeding slowly. Adults drifting with restraint. A life built not for expansion, but for balance. There is no fear attached to the Italian crested newt. No myths, no warnings, no legends of danger. Most people never notice it at all. And that, perhaps, is its greatest vulnerability. In ecosystems, visibility often brings protection. Charismatic animals gain attention, funding, urgency. The Italian crested newt moves beneath that threshold. Its disappearance would not shock. It would go unnoticed, until consequences emerge elsewhere. This species does not dominate its environment. It reflects it. Where water is clean, vegetation intact, and seasonal rhythms remain unbroken, the newt persists. Where chemicals accumulate, ponds vanish, or migration paths are severed, it fades quietly. No alarms, no dramatic decline, just absence. Scientists recognize this as indicator biology. The presence of Italian crested newts reveals functioning freshwater systems. Their loss signals degradation already underway. In this way, the species speaks without sound. Modern conservation increasingly values such silent indicators. Protecting the Italian crested newt means protecting wetlands, insects, plants, and groundwater. It is not a single species effort, it is system preservation. Yet challenges intensify. Climate change disrupts breeding timing. Drought shortens larval development windows. Sudden floods wash away eggs folded so carefully into leaves. Fragmented habitats prevent recolonization after local losses. Each pressure alone is manageable. Together, they narrow the margin of survival. Despite this, the Italian crested newt has not vanished. Protected areas, restored ponds, and legal safeguards across Europe have stabilized some populations. Artificial ponds designed with vegetation and shallow gradients now function as breeding sites. What nature lost, careful design can partially replace. But success remains fragile. The Italian crested newt cannot adapt to haste. It requires time for water to settle, for plants to grow, for larvae to develop undisturbed. It asks for a pace modern landscapes rarely allow. As evening returns to a quiet Italian pond, the newt drifts once more into shadow. Crest absent, colors muted, almost invisible again, it breathes slowly, conserving energy for a future that may or may not come. There is no drama in this ending, only continuation. The Italian crested newt teaches a lesson few animals offer so clearly: not all survival is loud. Not all importance is visible. Some species hold ecosystems together simply by existing quietly. And if they disappear, the silence left behind will speak louder than any roar.